Hello, my name is Rhianna and I'm setting myself the goal of writing a novel in 2024. So in terms of my relationship with writing, I first fell in love with reading and writing when I was about 13. I started to spend more time in libraries and also started watching book videos online, and I had the first seed of an idea in my head of the possibility of one day being a professional writer myself. But I think at that age I really hadn't experienced very much of the world, and I didn't really understand what it was to live a life. So a lot of what I wrote at that age I look back on and cringe a bit, but it was all good practice for the future. And then when I finished school, I went to university and I studied writing, and this was a great experience. We not only wrote a lot, but we also read a lot, and I did this module called Reading as a Writer, which I really enjoyed. We had a great reading list. I read so many great books, and I read them as sort of like a surgeon. I read them and I dissected them and I tried to work out why they worked, which was a very valuable experience. And then when I finished university, I really wanted to get as much experience as possible in the world. I wanted to meet lots of people and see lots of places. So I had a lot of experience, and so I understood the world more, which I think can really help you become a better writer. However, that desire to go and see the world was stunted a bit because of COVID. However, as soon as it was safe to do so in September 2021, I moved to Warsaw in Poland, which was a great experience for me. I moved there without knowing anyone and without ever having actually been to the country, and I met a lot of people from a lot of different countries, and I also read a lot, and I felt myself improving as a writer as the year passed and as I wrote more as well. And that brings me to now, and I'm 26 and I'm living in Berlin, and yeah, maybe 2024 is the year that I will write a novel that I'm proud of, because I have tried to write novels before quite a few times. And I think looking back at those novels, there's parts of the work that I really like, but I think I'm not like 100% happy with the work. And I think to publish a novel and to put it out there for anyone to read, I think it's important for the writer to be fully behind it. So I'm just going to start a new novel in 2024. So, the idea. I am now in Berlin, but over Christmas I was in England visiting my family, and I could have got the plane back to Berlin. However, I like to make life a little difficult for myself and decided to get the train. And this was particularly difficult because of strikes that are occurring and bad weather that is occurring. And also I got the Eurostar, and the Eurostar has recently had a leak happen in one of the tunnels, and so yes, the journey wasn't plain sailing. However, I have made it back to Berlin now, and the reason I mention this is during that long train trip I had a lot of time on my hands, and I spent a lot of that time listening to my audiobook and also reading, but I also spent a lot of that time writing on the notes app on my phone, and I don't know really what sparked it, but I managed to plot a whole novel. And so now I have a plan, I have somewhere to start from, and I think I'm definitely a writer that needs a plan. I think if I just started writing, I wouldn't get so far. I really need to know the characters. I need to know where the story is going. It helps me out. And in terms of what the story is about, I really love reading stories about real people, just living their normal lives. I find it just so interesting. I love reading about just how human beings work and how they go about day to day, despite the difficulties that exist with going about day to day. So my phone just told me that there was no space left on the phone, probably due to the 7,000 photos I have and 1,300 videos I have. And so I had to delete a few things, but now I'm back. Hopefully I won't do that again. And so yes, the novel is just about two normal people and their relationship with one another, how they communicate, how they love, how they get along with life. So now, how am I going to achieve this? So I would say that I'm not a particularly disciplined person, especially when it comes to my own passions. I find where with my work, when I'm getting paid, I'm very disciplined. But when it comes to my passions, even though I love doing these things, I find it hard to have a routine when it comes to them. I very much do them based on just feeling. For example, playing the piano, I don't say like every day I'm going to practice for an hour. I just play it when I want to play it. And I think this is a good strategy, because it means you will never dislike your passion and you will always enjoy doing it. But I do think that when it comes to writing a novel and finishing a novel, it can be quite helpful to have a plan. Now, my plan is to write for at least an hour every day. Hopefully I will write more than this, but I want to have at least an hour in. And it doesn't matter the word count. I might even lose words because I might spend that hour editing a scene that needs reworking. But the plan is to just write for an hour every day. And I might put a timer on to prove that it's an hour and prove to myself that I wrote for an hour that day. Now, I can't really choose a particular hour because from day to day, life changes and my schedule is not very set because I'm a freelance English teacher, and so I teach different hours every day. So I can't pick a particular hour, but I'm going to try and stick to it, that I will write an hour every day. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. I will try to document this process, so I shall have more writing videos coming soon. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye bye.